Back to the deadly terrorist attack on the U.S. consulate in Libya. The Obama administration privately briefing members of Congress about the assault that killed 4 Americans. Afterwards, lawmakers from both parties expressing frustration and criticism. Arizona Senator John McKeon saying they are still blaming an anti-Islam video for triggering the attack.
I'm stunned that they thought that it was some kind of spontaneous demonstration. But the point is that they still are blaming the video, and they have a fundamental misunderstanding. They believe it was the video. It's not the video.
California Congressman Buck McKeon is a Republican and chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. He took part in the briefing and joins us live this morning. Congressman, thank you. Senator Corker emerged from that meeting. He called it useless and worthless. Were you equally aggrieved when you emerged from that meeting?
Yeah, the idea that they've been telling us for a week that there was a demonstration that spun out of control when everybody that had any idea of what was really going on knew that it was a terrorist attack. It was a follow-up to 9/11. It was led by Al-Qaeda. I mean, let's get real with this. We know we're in a war on terrorism, and the president now wants to make this a legal action. He has assigned the FBI now total control. This is just a total joke. The president, the commander-in-chief, the one person that is elected by all Americans, is so busy campaigning that he can't focus on what's happening around the world. Our ambassador and 3 other great Americans were killed on property that should be like as sacred as in their own living room. This is just an outrage that's hard to live
Congressman,
with.
The press secretary finally admitted yesterday what was obvious, it seems, to most everyone. In fact, he used the term self-evident to finally describe it as a terrorist attack, and yet there was the president in the Univision interview still blaming the videotape. In your mind, does all of this confusion and contradiction call into question the competency of the Obama administration?
Well, I think that's self-evident. It's in your opening segment where the president says you can't change from within. You know, his lack of leadership, the ability to really get things done, is so self-evident. He was going to change our situation around the world. He has changed it. We have less respect around the world, where people feel that they can attack us without any worry of retribution. And then afterwards, we're sending some Marines to go beef up some of the embassies.
Right.
And yet there are some places where the Marines cannot even enter the country, and we're still supporting these countries. This is totally ludicrous.
Do you think the White House is deliberately trying to peddle a false narrative? And if so, is that playing politics with national security?
Well, I think that's also very obvious. We put it now, the FBI has total control. And in fact, if they find out who did this, they have no authority to arrest somebody. It's just, we've seen this now for years, where they try to act that this war on terrorism is just a law, breaking the law, and dealing with it as a law matter. If you sign it to the FBI and then say nobody can talk about it and put it off till after the election, that's what the president wants.
Does the Obama administration or the president himself think that the war on terror is over? Or, in the alternative, maybe he is concerned that Americans will learn that under his watch the war on terror has actually regressed. We've lost ground. Is that a possibility?
You have to wonder why they would be putting out this message that it was just a demonstration that spun out of control, and all of a sudden people just happen to have RPGs and mortars. You know, you hate to think that the president would purposely mislead the American people, but it sure looks like it to me.
Does he need to address them directly and clear up all this confusion? He is, after all, commander-in-chief.
Well, yeah, if he spent some time in Washington and had his briefings that are available, and maybe got his had some cabinet meetings, and did some things that a president should be doing, a commander-in-chief should be doing, rather than traveling around the money to raise money and campaign for 4 more years of what? Yeah, I think it would be good if he did a little bit of what he's being paid to do.
Congressman Buck McKeon, chairman of the Armed Services Committee, thanks so much.
Thank you.